size of your baby, isn't it?
Yeah, but my baby's 10, so I don't know. All right, we've got some gorgeous weather for tonight. We can open up the windows, let in that cool air. 50s for overnight lows with highs tomorrow. How about that? 80s.
Oh, open the windows, save some green,
We
right?
like the sound of that, huh?
Yeah.
We'll see you shortly for Late News Tonight. And we continue following breaking news on Late News Tonight. Good evening, I'm Chris Thomas.
I'm Laura Painter. That breaking news in Los Angeles. Pro-Palestinian protesters barricaded a building at Cal State LA. This is where the president of the campus was apparently stuck and sheltering in place in her office. Right now, it's not known if the president of the campus is still inside.
Protesters had already set up encampments on another section of campus more than a month ago. Today, a group started piling up furniture, overturned golf carts and tables to create barriers in front of Student Services building. You can see in this video, they also removed copy machines and furniture from inside the building to continue reinforcing that barricade.
And the campus president's office is on the 8th floor of the building. The college was asking employees in the Student Services building to shelter in place, while employees elsewhere on campus were instructed to leave. This is a developing situation. We are gathering information and we'll bring it to you as soon as we get it on air and online at abc10.com.
The other big story, Cal Fire and Sacramento Metro Fire battling this fire in Rancho Cordova just hours ago. It happened near Grant Line and White Rock Road. 119 acres have burned with containment at just about 15%. Forward progress has stopped and no structures are threatened.
And taking a live look over downtown Sacramento tonight, it's been hot, to say the least. ABC 10 Chief Meteorologist Monica Woods is tracking the latest conditions. A relief in sight, Monica?
We certainly are feeling that relief, especially close to the Delta for tonight. And that really kicked in late this afternoon and it's continuing at this hour, pulling in that cooling Pacific breeze. Now, not all of us felt that breeze early in the afternoon, but now it's really starting to filter through the valley, over towards the east side of the valley and into the foothills, where temperatures are down by about 5 to almost 20 degrees from last night at this time. Finally feeling the 50s, 60s, and even lower 70s as we're heading into the overnight hours, setting us up for a pretty good Thursday. And that's also helping to moderate some of these afternoon highs. Earlier this week, topping out deep into the 100s with Red Bluff 2 days in a row with record highs. And that's saying something, especially for June. Average high 87 degrees, and we're finally getting back to near that for tomorrow. In fact, we've got a cool start to the day with temperatures in the 50s, so southwest winds continuing at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Much cooler forecast will welcome in that sunrise at 5:41. The winds causing a bit of a problem, though, with elevated fire danger. We'll talk more about that as we head towards the weekend forecast.
Sounds good, Monica. Thank you. Tonight, an 11-year-old boy in Stockton was taken to the hospital after a dog bit him. Police say this happened in the area of Country Club and Plymouth Road. They say the boy does have injuries to his leg. Now, the owners of the dog were on scene. An investigation is underway.
Tonight, officials in Stanislaus County are doing what they can to stop the possible release of a sexually violent predator. Kevin Stott Gray, according to the Stanislaus County District Attorney's Office, is a convicted child molester and has been identified as a sexually violent predator. Court documents show Gray was convicted of molesting young girls in Wyoming in the 70s. His crimes continued in Stanislaus County in the 80s and the 90s. He's remained behind bars, and a psychologist for the Department of State Hospitals diagnosed him with pedophilic disorder and said he is indeed a danger to others. But in September 2020, Liberty Healthcare, a company contracted by the Department of State Hospitals, recommended Gray to be conditionally released, and they're now looking to house him. One state senator is fighting back.
Liberty Health makes these decisions without the consideration of the overall impact. The location that that Liberty Healthcare is looking at now is a heavily populated area in the neighboring city of Turlock.
It's still not clear where exactly in Turlock Liberty Healthcare is currently evaluating a possible site. The senator says the next steps will be a walkthrough, and community members will be notified when they can make their voices heard.
Take a close look at your screen. Davis police are warning about this piece of mail asking for donations. They shared this picture saying this mail is soliciting for donations for Davis area police officers from Citizens Behind the Badge. They say the city of Davis and the Davis Police Department will never contact you soliciting for donations and are not affiliated with Citizens Behind the Badge in any way.
Tonight, a junk removal company is at the center of a controversy after being caught allegedly dumping their trash onto an orchard.
ABC 10's Gabriel Porras has details from San Joaquin County.
Usually when you hire a junk removal company, part of what you pay them goes towards fees at the county dump. But deputies here say that on Sunday, one company took an illegal and literal shortcut. If Dusty D's junk removal had traveled just 12 miles up Highway 26 on Sunday, they would have ended up here at San Joaquin County's Foothill Sanitary Landfill. But instead,
we got a call from a farmer that this guy was illegally dumping a whole bunch of dirt that had stuff mixed in with it in his orchard.
San Joaquin County Sheriff Pat Withrow says the owner of the orchard tried to deal with the situation on his own, telling the person behind the wheel of the truck to stop and clean up.
Whoever the gentleman was that was dumping this stated, I'm not cleaning it up and I'll just take the fine.
And that's just what Damian Pursley did, cited Sunday for illegal dumping, a charge that carries a fine of up to $10,000. We tried messaging and calling him and his company, but did not hear back.
That was just the beginning of our investigation. We will continue our investigation into if there is any other illegal activity this gentleman may have been doing.
Deputies say these types of illegal dumping cases are actually on the rise. Even here in the middle of the city of Stockton, there's a pile of trash dumped along this levee illegally.
We have a lot of people now that will take videos of it or pictures and catch a license plate and to send it to us. We've really engaged with the community, and we have cameras out and about.
In case hefty fines and the possibility of having cars towed due to illegal dumping don't scare criminals,
farmers aren't making money hand over fist.
Sheriff Withrow asks that people at least consider the impacts.
It's very dangerous for our underground water and the farming community. I'm sure the citizens, just like I do, on my way to work or when I'm just out on my days off, that you see these piles of trash, and it's just so frustrating.
The sheriff told me today that they do have a crew from the jail here that goes around to clean up the illegal dumping areas, but private property, like in this case, is not covered. In San Joaquin County, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
It's a serious problem. The sheriff's office is asking anyone who sees illegal dumping to get as many details as possible and report it to law enforcement.
We're tracking a new debate over Proposition 47 and what some call the unintended consequences. People gathered at the state capitol today to make their voices heard.
It is a horrendous situation. There are so many businesses being shut down because of the repeated thefts, and there is just simply no consequence for these people.
Prop 47 passed in 2014 and changed the way California handles certain crimes, making thefts of less than $950 chargeable as only a misdemeanor. 10 years later, as the retail theft problem has grown, a Prop 47 reform measure is now qualified to be on the November ballot. The new measure would allow felony charges for thefts under $950. Certain drug crimes, including fentanyl, could also hold stiffer penalties. The announcement comes as Democrats are pushing state lawmakers to fast-track a package of bills to address retail theft and public safety.
We need to make sure that we're pursuing reforms that are effective at targeting retail crime while avoiding a wholesale rollback of reforms that work to make our communities safer and avoiding imprisoning our most vulnerable people for minor infractions or acts of survival.
The Californians for Safer Communities Coalition gathered at the state capitol to oppose what they call poison pill amendments inserted in the latest package of new bills from lawmakers. They say the Attorney General should prioritize public safety over politics, adding the reform measure is needed now.
And very glad that we collected enough signatures, and I certainly hope this thing passes, because California pretty much is a disaster.
Now again, the Prop 47 reform measure is set to go on the November ballot. The Secretary of State plans to certify the measure later this month.
Coming to Solano County ballots this November, a Silicon Valley-backed plan to build a new city in Solano County. The controversial plan is now eligible for the November ballot after the Solano County's Registrar of Voters verified enough signatures. These are some of the renderings of what a new city could look like. Voters will be asked to allow urban development on land between Travis Air Force Base and Rio Vista that is currently zoned for agriculture.
Also at the state capitol today, 8 California lawmakers came together to support several domestic violence bills.
One of the bills would extend California's statute of limitations. It would also allow victims to seek justice as far as 15 years later. And that's the goal of just one of the bills presented today. Several other bills have equally ambitious goals. And while each bill is different and comes from a different lawmaker, all aim to fix a piece of California's domestic violence system, a broken system our investigative reporting has previously covered. For some legislators, like Senator Susan Rubio, it's personal.
I am a survivor of domestic violence, and I often wonder if someone as prominent as myself can fall victim to domestic violence, then what chance does the ordinary victim out there have? And so they need us fighting, advocating.
Senator Angelique Ashby partnered with Rubio for the news conference. She's working to pass 3 domestic violence bills, including a bill to ensure law enforcement does a proper investigation when these cases turn deadly. These bills are still in the process of making it to the governor's desk, where he will either veto or sign it into law. We'll be following these and keep you updated.
Next on Late News Tonight at 11. Too close for comfort. A large bear now calling this property home. The effort underway to try to get it out.
A terrifying commute home. A man hijacks a commuter bus. How it all ended.
And tonight, why a major city's mayor is condemning recent protests over the Israel-Hamas war. Late News Tonight is back in just 60 seconds.
Every kid has potential. Yet thousands of kids don't have the help they need to discover theirs. It's time to take a stand. Join ABC 10 and Big Brothers Big Sisters of Greater Sacramento to help match kids with someone who will empower them, inspire them, and ignite their potential. Not everyone has time to volunteer, but you can make a big difference with a small donation. Visit abc10.com/standwithkids to donate and help a kid today. Join ABC 10 and Big Brothers Big Sisters of Greater Sacramento to help match kids with someone who will empower them, inspire them, and ignite their potential. You can make a big difference with a small donation. Visit abc10.com/standwithkids to donate and help a kid today.
At Jacoby & Myers, when we get justice for you, it can make a big difference in your life. Here's what that means. Insurance offer, $100,000. Our result, $4.65 million.
Jacoby & Myers, because everyone deserves justice.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says Hamas wants to make a number of changes to a current ceasefire proposal. It comes as Israel faced an unprecedented escalation at their northern border with Lebanon this morning. The IDF says more than 160 rockets were fired by Hezbollah in Lebanon in a 2-hour window. Hezbollah says it's all in response to the killing of one of their top commanders by Israeli forces. And tonight, New York City's mayor is condemning recent protests in the city, with red paint splashed across buildings and smoke bombs and flares outside an exhibit remembering October 7th Hamas attack victims.
I thought it was despicable. It was disgusting what we saw. And you cannot call for peace while you're celebrating what happened on October 7th.
Meanwhile, security is high in Italy as President Biden meets with G7 leaders. Their summit will last for 3 days. The 7 wealthy democratic nations are expected to discuss the Russia-Ukraine and Israel-Hamas wars.
8 people with suspected ties to ISIS have been arrested in the U.S. They are all from Tajikistan and were initially allowed to enter the U.S. through the southern border last year. Sources tell ABC News all 8 were vetted at the time they crossed the border, but later, authorities uncovered information that raised suspicions. At least some of the individuals were monitored, and eventually all were taken into custody in New York, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia.
A terrifying commute in downtown Atlanta yesterday. It comes after a man hijacked a bus. Police say 39-year-old Joseph Breer hijacked the bus with 17 people on board, holding a gun to the bus driver's head. Video from above shows the bus sideswiping 2 cars, causing others to collide as they tried to get out of the way. One passenger called 911, keeping the line open to help feed information to police. After a 40-minute chase, police popped the tires, bringing it to a stop.
Tires were balding on one side of the bus. As you see, it's leaning towards the right. So we were able to position our bear cut to keep it from moving any further, thus allowing the bus to be immobilized.
That's when the SWAT team moved in, getting passengers off, but finding Greer and one passenger who was shot and later died at the hospital. Greer is a convicted felon with 19 prior arrests.
Coming up on the next 15 minutes of Late News Tonight.
It is making it much more expensive, to have kids and raise kids in today's economy.
Childcare and the high cost of living. The impact we're seeing with a growing number of married working couples deciding to put off having children or not having them at all.
Still leaning warmer in our long-range forecast, plus tracking higher fire danger.
Plus, the California bear getting comfortable under a home and the effort to get it out. You're watching Late News Tonight.
S&G saves you 1, 2, free. With 1 lifetime installation warranty, 2 ways to shop at home or in their showrooms, plus free take-home samples and free estimates. And during S&G Carpet's Beautiful Floor Sale, beautify your home with new flooring and save up to 25% off select carpet, waterproof core, hardwood, and laminate. Up to 25%? Now that's beautiful.
S&G, more than carpet.
Go to sgcarpet.com for the showroom nearest you or to have their mobile showroom come to you.
Installed perfectly. Second-rate installations can lead to gaps, crooked frames, and air leaks, which will destroy the energy-saving potential of your new windows.
At Bell Brothers, we make perfect installation our highest priority. Our in-house installers are factory-trained and pay attention to detail.
Quality windows, expert installation.
That's Bell Brothers.
The no surprise guys, Bell Brothers.
Sorry. With RC Willie, it's easy to make a home you can't stop dreaming about. Come shop our impressive mattress department.
Let's continue following that breaking news tonight.
Yes, we're watching closely pro-Palestinian protesters who have barricaded a building at Cal State LA. This building, the Student Services Center, is where the president of the campus was apparently stuck and sheltering in place in her office. Right now, it's not known if the president of the campus is still inside.
Now, keep in mind, protesters had already set up encampments on another section of the campus more than a month ago. Today, as you see in this video, a group started piling up furniture, overturned golf carts and tables to try and create barriers in front of the Student Services building. You can also see in the video, they've removed copy machines and furniture from inside the building to continue reinforcing that barricade.
And we've just learned that there does not appear to be many campus police or any officers from outside agencies in the area. The Los Angeles Police Department has told ABC News in Los Angeles that they have not been asked to get involved.
Yeah, this is a developing situation. We're watching it closely. We'll have much more information as it comes in on air and online at abc10.com.
Tonight, when it comes to wildlife, it's just too close to comfort for one California family.
You can say that again. They want a large guest at their home to leave. Take a look. This family says this bear broke into the crawl space under their home in Monrovia more than a week ago. It's been living there ever since. Look at that. It's a pretty big bear, too. It's already tagged by wildlife officials, but police say they can't do anything about it because the bear has yet to pose any danger to people. Some neighbors say they even know the bear.
He'll get in my trash. If I have any chicken bones, he'll get them. A lot of these people might be afraid of him, but he's harmless.
I don't know about that, y'all. The family is concerned. They're about to have a baby, and the bear is under the bedroom where the baby will live. So the plan is to set up a camera and then board up the crawl space the next time. Look at him peeking his head out there the next time that bear leaves. So we'll see how that one unfolds.
They are certainly out of hibernation. I'm going to stay away. Stay away.
You know, I tell you what, the interesting thing here is, Monica, it's just been so hot. I think everything is looking to try to go into a crawl space or get inside,
I mean,
right?
yeah, especially if you have underground, you know, that's where you're going to stay the coolest. We will find that cooling breeze coming in for tonight, and that's really going to help to bring down those temperatures. It's all part of the weather risk outlook. Wind is going to be the main feature that we're going to be tracking Thursday, we keep with that Delta breeze. You're probably feeling it tonight with near average temperatures as we edge towards the end of what's been a pretty toasty work week. Friday, lighter winds, but warming conditions. And then Saturday, we get to those above average temperatures with an increasing north wind. That's going to set us up for Sunday and Monday into that critical fire weather category. Lower elevation drying fuel. You can see what happened May 1st. We had all that green, especially after a late season kind of pulse of moisture coming through. May 4th was our last rain that we saw in the valley. And then fast forward just about a month or so with a couple of stretches of heat, and it dries out so quickly, especially for the lower elevations. Keep in mind, that's all fuel. So if a spark is to start, it spreads quickly. I mean, it feels like almost every night, if not every other night, we're tracking at least one grass fire breaking out throughout the valley. So a couple of key things to keep in mind. Fire weather alerts. A fire weather watch is issued several days before an event may produce critical fire conditions. And then once it becomes much more likely, we get that red flag warning in effect. So we'll continue to monitor that as we draw closer to our weekend forecast. In the meantime, today's highs in the 90s to near 100. But now that we've got this breeze, we're going to see everything more in this category right here. Fairfield had access to that breeze earlier today, so only reaching a high of 85. 90s in the foothills and then 80s up top for this year. Here's a look at those winds coming in for tonight. Still pretty strong in Fairfield, close to 30 miles per hour. They're spreading north and south and helping to alleviate some of that heat that we've been dealing with. Last night at this time, it just didn't feel like it was ever going to cool down. Sacramento right now 62 as we look out to the Big Mountain backyard. Stockton 70, 76 for Modesto, Marysville 75, and Tahoe at 57. With tomorrow's afternoon high right about average in the mid to upper 80s. With those southwest winds, we'll see plenty of sunshine as well. So we keep with the winds for tomorrow. They become a little bit lighter into our Friday forecast. And then what happens on Saturday is they start to shift to the northwest. That's going to be a dry and warming wind. Humidity goes down. Our high pressure ridge starting to edge off to the east here. We have a slight chance of those thunderstorms developing in the Sierra tomorrow. There's that low that's driving in some of those onshore winds, but once it draws a little bit closer, that's when we get into a situation where we're going to have to watch that fire danger. Highs tomorrow near 80 for the Sierra, with 80s to near 90 in the foothills. We're in the 60s along the coast and more widespread 80s for tomorrow's forecast throughout the valley. Our 5-day regional forecast. Yes, we've got that chance of thunderstorms in the forecast for tomorrow, but then it's going to be dry for the weekend, including for Father's Day. As we head towards next week, we've got Juneteenth, the beginning of summer. And just as we say hello to summer, we say hello again to those near 100-degree temperatures.
Perfectly timed, as they say. Monica, thank you. And time now for Dollars and Cents, where I answer your money questions and help you navigate a changing economy. A growing number of married working couples are deciding to put off having children or not having them at all. They're called DINKs. Dual income, no kids. The term has been around since the 80s, but it's making a comeback as more couples are weighing the cost of raising kids and the high cost of living.
They tend to spend more on a lot of luxury items, so this could be anything from travel to new cars.
Embracing DINK life comes with its benefits. Being dual income, no kids allows them to build their careers, their marriage, and wealth.
So they often get the attention of marketing folks, right, who want to kind of capture this demographic because they do tend to have a lot of money to spend.
DINKs are a microcosm of a larger trend. Families are smaller, and people are waiting longer to have kids. Research shows a birth rate decline in the last 15 years, according to the National Center for Health Statistics. And Bloomberg reports, for the average American family, childcare is more expensive than rent.
It is making it much more expensive, to have kids and raise kids in today's economy, and so that could, of course, fuel more people to make the decision, to either put off or not have children at all.
Due in part to the record number of Americans retiring this year, known as the Silver Tsunami and Peak 65, DINKs could face challenges with the strain on Social Security and Medicare.
Yeah, one complication they might run into is if, for example, they've spent a whole bunch now and maybe haven't saved as much, right, for their retirement, they might run into some extra costs that they didn't expect.
So with that in mind, the bottom line across the board, experts really recommend do what you can now to build your savings and your retirement plan. You want to be ready for any surprises, especially when it comes to financial and social uncertainty.
And I tell you what, I have to ask, is this concept of DINKs just an American concept?
Right, it's a good question, and though I don't know what they call it in different languages, it turns out, Chris, that we really are far from alone. Many other countries are seeing this dinks phenomenon too, like in China, for example. Experts say many of the countries who are also experiencing this are also dealing with economic uncertainty, which typically leads to people putting off big financial changes, like having kids. The conversation continues. Just scan the QR code to see all my dollars and cents coverage. Send me your money questions. You can also find them on our website, abc10.com. Let's get you over to sports now with Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Laura, good stuff right there for me to consider. I have a cat right now, and that's costing me too much money. Hello, I am Kevin John. Coming up in sports, Game 3 of the NBA Finals delivered tonight. You know who didn't deliver? The Dallas Mavericks. I'll have a recap of that game after the break. Plus, Rockland native Logan Webb took care of business on the mound. This afternoon, we're taking you out to Oracle Park right after the break.
I'm William Byrd. With our no-fee guarantee, if you don't win, you pay nothing.
Turn the key to fast cash during Winning Wheels at Black Oak Casino Resort. Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m. You can match and multiply your way to win up to $5,000 cash every 30 minutes. And Saturday, July 6th is the final night when one lucky guest will drive off in a brand new 2024 Chevy Camaro, courtesy of Sierra Motors.
On my color subject to change.
Play Winning Wheels at Black Oak Casino Resort in Tuolumne.
Escape your everyday.
My dogs, I couldn't, go to the gym without my feet hurting. I wasn't living my full life. And then all of a sudden, I just get these arch supports and I'm just able to get out of bed and do my normal activity without any pain. It changed my life drastically. And I do have good feet, My name's Lisa and that's my Good Feet story.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Escape to the moment when memories were served family style. The moment that hearts melt over melted chocolate. And the moment that victory tastes the sweetest. Escape to extraordinary, only at BJ's Restaurant and Brew House.
I heard you might be coming. I never imagined you actually would. Who would win in a fight between Elvis and Willy Wonka?
I was watching you backstage, and I find you to be a zaddy.
Wait, what?
New Kimmel, weeknights on ABC.
NBA Finals took center stage in the sports world tonight, and it's as simple as this. If you're the Dallas Mavericks, you gotta win this game. No, really, no team in the history of the NBA Finals has ever come back from an 0-3 series deficit. So in other words, if you go down 0-3, it's the equivalent of riding on a flat tire. You can try to make progress, but you ain't gonna get far. And when Luka Doncic showed up dressed like a member of the Backstreet Boys, you figured he would have some of that Luka magic in him. But Jason Tatum was also feeling himself too. More on that in a second. Game 3 of the NBA Finals. You guys saw this game right here on ABC 10. Now the big story coming into this game tonight was the absence of Kristaps Porzingis. The Celtics big man was ruled out before this game with that injury to his left leg. Meanwhile, Kyrie Irving, he heard all the noise about how he had been a disappearing act in the first couple of games in the finals. I admit I was also critical of him. And that must have ignited a fire underneath him because Kyrie came out balling. He had 9 points in the first quarter, a team high 20 points at the half. Keep in mind, he was averaging just 14 points a game through the first 2 games. He ended up scoring a game high 35 points, which is more than his first 2 games of the series combined. Yeah, that's how you answer the critics, Kyrie. Meanwhile, Jason Tatum was about his business in the first half. Tatum, who has yet to have a big offensive game in the series, had a team-high 20 points at intermission. Dallas led 51-50 at the half. Now to the third quarter. Grab your Lysol wipes because this dunk was straight up filthy. Jaylen Brown, throw it down. He dunks on the whole state of Texas there. Love the reaction from the players, too. The Celtics would take a 21-point lead into the fourth quarter, but just like LeBron's hairline, the Mavericks would mount a comeback. Dallas would go on a 22-2 run to bring the game within 1, but right here you see Luka Doncic. He fouls out with just over 4 minutes left in regulation. It's the first time Luka has fouled out in his playoff career. He had 27.6 rebounds, 6 assists. Kyrie did everything he could to keep this game close, but those Celtics are just too darn good. Tatum had 31, Brown had 30. Boston wins 106-99. They're just 1 win away from hanging their 18th banner. And to the big news from earlier today, NBA legend and Hall of Famer Jerry West passed away. Now, West had a storied career as a player and executive, winning 8 championships as an executive alone. And he has way too many accolades for me to name. He is also the silhouette of the NBA logo. West was 86 years old. All right, let's talk some baseball. Just a little over a week ago, everyone was ready to push the panic button, myself included, when the San Francisco Giants had lost a season-worst 6 games in a row. Well, all the Giants have done since that is win 4 of their last 6, and they had an opportunity today to beat the Astros in the series. Let's head out to San Francisco. Rockland native Logan Webb on the bump for the G-men, and Webb was Dylan. The Rockland High School grad went 6 innings, struck out 5, gave up 3, but still got the win today. Meanwhile, Austin Slater was feeling himself. Slater was 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Giants would go on to defeat the Astros 5-3. G-men pick up the series win, and they have now won 5 of their last 7. Not too shabby. As for the Oakland A's, well, they weren't as lucky. But what else is new? They're in San Diego to face the Padres, and right here on this home run, that was it. The Padres walk it off to defeat the woeful Oakland A's. The A's get swept by the Padres. They also lose their 5th game in a row. And I don't know if Las Vegas, if you really want this team right here. Anyhow, they're going to come to Sacramento for 3 years. Maybe they'll get some better luck in Sacramento playing, because they sure don't have it in Oakland. It is not muy bueno for them. But hey, at the end of the day, San Francisco Giants get the win, and local product Logan Webb stands on business.
We like to see the locals going strong, doing their thing. A big day in sports.
Absolutely. And don't forget Game 4 of the NBA Finals right here on Friday.
We're back after this.
Wake up. Nothing good in life ever comes easy. This American dream isn't something that's handed over. It begins with hard work. You either accept things as they are, or you grab the reins. This is our purpose, our future.
SMUD's Clean Power City movement is happening. Hundreds of thousands have joined the charge. They're taking action, driving electric, making clean power choices, and saving money with SMUD rebates. Together, we're creating clean power cities, while SMUD keeps our promise to deliver world-class safety, reliability, and some of the lowest rates in California. The Clean Power City movement is changing the world, one charge at a time. For 99 ways to join the charge, visit cleanpowercity.org.
Imagine products and services designed for you. A low-rate auto loan with payment-free summers. An affordable home loan with a low down payment. A credit card that helps you save with cash back on every purchase. Stress-free retirement planning. And expert advisors you can talk to anytime. We're here for you because you're not just our members, you're our heroes. Visit schoolsfirstfcu.org or your nearest branch.
It's a sign of summer. Sacramento's getting ready to expand the citywide pool schedules. This weekend, they're celebrating with $1 admission at neighborhood pools. Each pool has different hours, so make sure you double check before heading out. And most of the city pools also offer swim lessons and free basic water safety classes. And $1, you can't beat it. Everyone's trying to save money. You can take the whole family for that price.
Yeah.
And looking good, too, for the weekend to get out and enjoy it, huh?
Certainly is. Yeah, highs back in the 90s by the weekend. But in the meantime, we're going to enjoy those 80s, low 90s tomorrow.
Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Closed captioning sponsored by Bell Brothers, your hometown experts in plumbing, windows, heating, and air.
When it comes to life, Golden One Credit Union sees you're crushing it. You nailed that audition. You perfected that plate. Your team's inspired. Whether behind the scenes or center stage, you've never chosen the easy path. Instead, you make your own. Golden One Checking works for you with everyday simple checking, so you can keep shining no matter what scene of life you're in. Golden One Checking. Life is a journey best celebrated together.
I know a man who's one proud dad who trusts one guy when his kids drive bad. It's Jim. Here goes Jim. Jim knows what safe driving takes. Tire, suspension, maintenance, and brakes. He's Jim.
Now, during our Stars, Stripes, and Savings Sale, get up to $80 in Michelin rebate savings with installation purchase. Big O Tires will even match up to $80 in rebate savings. That's double the savings. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Reclining is trending, and at Living Spaces, our collections are more stylish, comfortable, and functional than ever before. Experience full-body support at the press of a button, along with plush, luxurious materials that make every reclining design a destination for relaxation. You'll love options that include power-adjustable headrests, consoles with storage and cup holders, plus convenient USB ports. And with free shipping as soon as next day, you can start enjoying it right away. Treat yourself, friends, and family to the ultimate in unwinding, only at Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
Now open in Roseville and Manteca.
For her, it's a peaceful escape at our premier resort pool. It's about him mastering his poker face. For her, melting away stress in tranquility. Enjoy the best of both worlds, where every moment is crafted for your perfect stay. Apart or as a couple, experience the perfect mix of thrill and relaxation. Book your stay at GrandSierraResort.com and make it happen.
From Hollywood, it's Jimmy Kimmel